Everybody. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus, and I'm back again. Seems as if I just can't stay away. I got a call today from a mother from one of the local churches. She's Pentecostal. And she said that she hadn't seen me in a while. And I told her I was too busy taking care of my father's business. And that is trying to deliver messages that would hopefully awake people to the concerns of life and to put an end to death and the frustrations thereof. She wanted me to know that she missed me and hoped that she could see me pretty soon, and I thought about that for a moment, and I'm thinking maybe she will. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, lying in bed, should I say, and I'm watching information about the trillions of dollars that were misplaced or can't be identified, that was lost, should I say, during the debacle at the World Trade Center. I'm thinking about the billions that were transacted as far as insurance are concerned. And I'm thinking about the millions, the many, many trillions, should I say, that the people of this country are obligated to pay based upon loans that and debt that this country has, that most of the people of this country had nothing to do with, had no part in, and have never benefited from. And yet this bill is passed on to us and to the children of the coming fourth generation. I'm thinking about this, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm also thinking about people who are running away from hell. I'm talking about refugees. People who have put themselves and their lives on the line, getting in little boats with inner tubes, so desperate for escape and a different life that they've put themselves, and not only themselves, but their children on some apparatus like this that's probably guaranteeing that they won't make it. I'm thinking about the immigrants who come and jump over a fence and go through under wires and all kind of hell, persecution, trying to escape more persecution. I'm thinking about those that are used to carry drugs into areas where they could be a profit for those who will help them to get here, if they'll do it. I'm thinking about those that are put on trucks and loaded into backs of trucks, suffocating many of them, trying to escape the hell that they live in. I'm thinking about those that cross deserts without food and water and other things that they need to survive, but hoping that they can get some assistance between where they're leaving from and where they're trying to get. I'm thinking about those that are sick and people who are out there trying to help them to survive. I'm thinking about these kinds of things. Many of us don't have to here in the United States, though we go through all kind of poverty, but not to that extent. And so we sometimes try to say we don't have compassion or empathy for people like this because we don't understand their plight. I sit here and as I think about that, I think that I have asked the people of the state of Minnesota to consider me as a representative in the United States Senate. I've asked the people of the country who will hear my message to consider me as President of the United States in 2020. But as I sit here and I think about what's really going on, I don't have time, ladies and gentlemen, I must admit to myself, and I would like for you to think about this. We don't have time to wait until an election in November 2018 for a senatorial election. We don't have time to wait for 2020 for a presidential election. And what would it mean? Just the time to engage yourself in further battle? The truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, there is an assault on humanity. It has been there for quite some time and is here today, and it needs to be dealt with today. Not as a president, but as a citizen of the human race. We should end this assault on humanity. It seems as if when everybody's suffering, it is because somebody's trying to wield power over them. They are trying to do something to these people to make them a commodity or try to make them a slave force that they can use to benefit someone else. And it's all about profit. It's all about money. Look up the money chain and see those at the top, how much money they possess. Look at the Rockefellers, the Morgans, and the Rothschilds and others. All about money, and at the expense of us who are struggling from day to day, trying our best to survive, hoping that we can see tomorrow. And many of us are on our knees praying to God, hoping that something will happen when we know nothing is going to happen. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the responsibility for something to happen has been given to us. And if we want something to happen, let our faith in God, let our belief in God, let our understanding of God engage us to do the thing, to do the work of God. We are God's children. You expect your earthly children to have some of your character. You expect them to have something that is representative of you. And so we should be no different. Let us cause that part of God in us to rise to the occasion today. An assault on humanity where pain and suffering exist every day. It got to stop. We have been lied to. I know many of you think that we haven't. But that's because you don't know the truth. The sufferings that human beings go through today, we should never have ever gone through them. The only reason we go through them is because we're stupid. We go through it because we're ignorant. We go through it because we don't have the knowledge. We do not know the truth. We've allowed somebody else to tell us something, and it is nothing but a complete lie. Those who have told us these lies don't walk in the shoes that we walk in. They don't walk down the path that we walk down. They fly in jets, in their own jets. And they live in mansions. Now, I'm not trying to knock that, ladies and gentlemen. What I am knocking is the assault on us who have to struggle, who have to go through all of the pain and suffering. Those of us who can't even get health care. Those of us who receive so small a Social Security check that we can't do anything. We can't help ourselves, let alone our children. There is an assault on humanity, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm asking you to wake up tonight. Make a commitment that starting as soon as you get up out of your bed, that your action is going to be focused on ending this assault. Begin thinking about the things that needs to be done. Start thinking about the pain that others go through as well as your own. Start thinking about that if you were God, you wouldn't allow it to happen. If you were God, you'd do something about it. And so right now I'm asking you, that portion of God that is in you, stand up and exercise it. And you won't be at odds with one another. Well, as long as you're thinking about compassion for all people, even those who have robbed us and abused us, we're not trying to hurt them, we're just trying to make sure they don't hurt us any longer. People suffering, going across deserts, trying to breathe, and you got somebody out there saying, donate to this cause. Help these people. We got to do something for these people. And we sit back at a table eating our slop, not even giving it any thought. Don't want it to cross our mind because it brings something that's displeasing to us. Well, I'm asking you to put it on your mind. But don't just put it on your mind, put an end to it. And what does that mean? That means changing our systems all over the earth, ladies and gentlemen, changing our systems. And I'm not sending this message out to the leadership. I'm not sending this message out to the rulers. They are the ones who are profiting from the situation. They are the ones that are stacking the situation up so that those who profit the most can continue to profit. They are getting their kickbacks. I'm not talking to them about changing the system, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about you and I. The very, very poor, those who are hurting the most, they need to engage themselves too, but some of them can't even hardly breathe because of the pressures of life that they have to go through. So we're not going to jump on them just yet. Those of us who got the ability, those of us who got a mind, those of us who can move, I don't care how old we are or how young we are, if we can possess a vision of freedom, let us begin today. This is an assault that must be stopped. Must be stopped. An assault on humanity. Think about it. Think about those people in Mexico who find that the persecution, the robbery there is so great that they try to sneak over here. Think about those who have money, who trying to get more money, but trying to build up a wall because they feel like they are threatened by those who are coming over here. Not necessarily a threat, but trying to play a game and a con game on people over here who think that they are a threat. And the leadership pretending like it cares by building up a wall. What they're building up a wall for is to put money in somebody else's pocket. It's not to protect you or the American people or the people from coming across the border. Think about the people who are running away from India. The people who are trying to run and escape from the pain and suffering of Africa. Think about those people, my friends. People who are trying to get away from China, trying to get away from other places in the world. I wish that those who claim to be spokesmen for God were really that. Because if they were, they would see what I'm talking to you about. They would have been seeing it all the time, and they would have been trying to take some initiative to end it. And if they hadn't, just by hearing these words, they would be motivated to do something about it. But I can promise you that those who have held themselves up as spokesmen for God are considering right now how to get more money from you so that they can live a better life, so that they can go somewhere and tell somebody a message about Jesus at the hands of being robbed. I'm talking to you, the average Joe Blow. If you believe in Jesus, I'm talking to you. If you don't believe in Jesus, I'm talking to you. If you're hurting, I'm talking to you. And if you're not hurting, I'm talking to you. It is we, the people, we who represent humanity, must get up and show some humanity. Those of you who got jobs, you know most of you going to jobs that you don't like to go to. You're working your butts off, and you still cannot enjoy the kind of life you hoped that you would enjoy. Some of you are doing better than your parents. Some of you are doing better than some other people that you know, friends. Some of you might consider yourselves as getting along good, pretty good. But in reality, compared to what has been designed for us, if we only would, we are going through nothing but junk, slop, like hogs and pigs, treated like the mutts. I get up out of my bed tonight, and I sit here before this camera, and I hope and pray that somehow, some way, you will get a chance to see this video, that more than the 2 or 3 views that I get are increased by the thousands, because I'm touching a nerve, I'm touching your humanity, I'm touching your soul, and I'm calling on that soul to arise and let us do something today for one another. And this one another goes all over the globe. We're doing it, we're being motivated by those who are suffering the most. We're being motivated by a power that is so magnificent. It created the earth and all that the earth is about, including us and what we are capable of doing when we put our minds, our hands to it. I'm calling on all of us all over the globe in 7 continents to rise up today and let us preserve humanity. Let us treat humanity like we are a gift to one another. I'm calling on everybody that will. Ladies and gentlemen, we can survive this. We can defeat this. And we can make the world a beautiful place. I say, we can make the world a beautiful place. And what kind of place is that? That is a place where there is peace, where there's prosperity and happiness for all. That is a place where our dreams are coming true. And not one day do we think about dying, because life is so precious and we don't see anything in our minds about death. I'm calling on all of us to wipe out the cancer of lying and cheating and stealing and terrorizing and manipulating and killing and wars. I'm calling on us to end all of that. To end it means we have to have justice. And what does that mean? That means basically, my friends, honoring one another, protecting one another, that the life that we see for ourselves is guaranteed at least to everyone else. That's not asking too much. I'm asking you to live by the power of God Almighty, to live. Those of you who don't believe in God, that's okay. Believe in yourselves. You get around to God. I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you. There are those who would say I'm wasting my time. I don't care what they say. I got this time to waste if it means that there's hope. Hope that is transformed into action. Because hope is just an unanswered prayer. And we say, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have to get on our knees and pray to God. We, let me say it again, do not have to get on our knees and pray to God, because usually when we do that, we're having a selfish prayer. But I was told that somewhere, if we're going to pray, pray that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I say, if we're going to pray, let us believe that the will be done on earth as in heaven, because it will be instrumental that we, men and women, old folks and children, black and white and everybody else, putting down our sticks of hate, putting down our cause of bigotry, and choosing to live. Choosing to live. Let us, my friends, attack and beat the hell out of this assault on humanity. Thank you so very much.